Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. How you feeling? It's Friday, baby. Yeah, we finally made it. It's been a really good week. I think the shows this week have been some of the best shows that we've done since we started the Wake Up America show. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, good. I love that I can just tell my studio audience how to react. That's right. Welcome to the Wake Up America show. Since it's Friday, that means Freedom Friday involves a lovely guest in studio all morning. It's the beautiful, the smoking hot, redheaded libertarian woman, of which there are very few, but there's only one, Steffi P for Liberty. Good morning, Steffi.
If I had a sign right now, I'd be like, clap.
Clap, clap, everybody
You know
clap.
the signs at the talk shows?
Yes. Nice to see you, Steffi.
Good to
Welcome to the show today. You look very beautiful.
Thank you. I
Glad
took a little extra time this morning.
Glad to have you here this morning. Welcome to the show. Glad to have all of our viewers. If you're a regular viewer of the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. If you're watching us over on YouTube this morning or on Rumble, of course, we've been really excited to see how Rumble has been growing.
Yeah, you've been showing me your views there. They are getting higher and higher.
Yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 times as many views over on Rumble. And they've been putting us over on the front page and promoting us over there on Rumble, which has been really exciting. Fed Up Kentucky and the first one to join us this morning. Good morning, Fed Up over there.
Good
Make
morning.
Sure smash that like button. Chris Morrill likes my shirt because
he has your
He's
shirt.
got one as well.
But he has one with his name on it, right?
He does. I think he's got Cantina Crew for Life.
Aww,
is his.
That's so cute.
Yeah, we can get these at apforlibertyshop.com. But, well, good morning to one Patriot listener as well over on Rumble.
I think that person likes liberty.
He does. Patriotic, very, very patriotic.
Good name.
Barney Styles joining us as well. Studio 314. We always love to see our friends who join us.
Yeah, Studio 314. I don't know who you are, but you are pretty awesome.
Yeah, he came out of the blue.
I've been noticing Studio 314.
Yeah, he's been a huge, big supporter lately, and we've been super grateful for it. So.
I'm wondering if he's someone we actually know, but he just changed his name.
Yeah, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
We don't know. He's a mystery man. But thank you, Studio. We appreciate you. All right, guys, let's talk about the news. What's going on in the world this morning?
There's a lot of things.
There are
dramatic
a lot of
things.
Yeah, there are a lot of dramatic things going on in the world right now. Yes. The big drama, of course, is the Steven Crowder divorce saga gets even messier. Video dropped yesterday of Steven Crowder from a Ring camera at their house, which is just yikes.
You know I don't like divorce, so we're going to have
who likes divorce?
Interesting conversation about this.
Nobody likes divorce, right? And we're going to talk about divorce this morning. We're going to talk about this drama. Candace Owens has inserted herself into it. I think but Steven Crowder has sort of dragged her into it also, but then...
I guess he mentioned her name.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty nasty. But of course, the acrimony between him and the Daily Wire after that $50 million contract negotiation fell apart and all that yada, yada, yada was started the next morning. We'll get into it. We'll explain what's going on, the key players.
Lots of moving pieces.
Yeah, we'll play the video. We'll talk about that, and we'll sort of give our thoughts. I mean, hell, we're talking about divorce and, him and his wife in this video, and here's my wife on screen. I got to be careful. Not to be abusive, because they'll take this video and they'll do it on there. Right, honey? Right, honey?
We do have Ring cameras.
We do have Ring cameras at our house,
and actually. I have the special plan where I have recordings of our Ring cameras.
Jeez, watch out for Steffi. All right, I better be careful what I say. All right, we'll play that video. We'll talk about it and what it means and why, people love drama. We'll talk about it.
I know. And so meaty.
It's so meaty. Number 2 on the list today, 718, study. Mothers of boys with gender confusion have their own litany of mental problems. Stephanie, you had a lot to say about this one as well, didn't you? Yes.
Not surprising, honestly.
You have a lot of strong feelings about this. You are a social worker, after all.
I am. So I do deal with gender dysphoria a little bit.
A little bit. Just a little bit here. All right, well, we'll talk about that today. At 7:35 today, another topic which you have very strong opinions on. A survey in the New York Times came out showing that in terms of usage of antidepressants, looking at it by demographics, white women are number 1. Congratulations, white women.
Clap.
Yep. Congratulations, ladies. You are, white women, white females, the heaviest users of antidepressants. And when I say heaviest, The second place isn't even close. More than double the amount of users of white women using antidepressants compared to white men,
Right.
black women.
I mean,
It's
for me,
deeply
not
concerning.
surprising.
Not
Maybe I'm
surprising.
just so jaded.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I
again,
think I
when
am.
you're in the mental health world and the therapy
Yeah.
world, you're gonna,
I get
for
it.
you,
I get it.
it's routine. We'll
Mhm.
talk
Yeah.
about that at 7:30 this morning and what the fallout from that is. At 7:51 today, our fourth topic: Jerry Springer died. That's kind of sad.
I was really upset about this. We've been watching his shows lately.
I know, it was just like the last couple of weeks that we've been watching like Jerry Springer reruns and watching some of the like from like his final episodes and things. And
still filming.
well,
They were talking about Instagram and social media pages, and we're like, when was this made?
Yeah, so we
Definitely not in the 90s.
I know it was more recent. But he just died. He had pancreatic cancer. So
Didn't know he was
So
sick.
we'll talk about that. Jerry. We'll talk about Jerry Springer, his life, his legacy, his politics at the end of the hour today at 8 o'clock this morning. Habits of classy couples.
Oh, I am a sophisticated woman, so I would assume I'm in a classy relationship.
She's a self-diagnosed sophisticated
Yep,
woman.
after your show the other day, I diagnosed myself with sophistication.
She's come down with a case of sophistication.
Sophisticated.
You can already tell that this show is going to be a lot of fun today. At 8:23 today, we went and saw Super Mario Brothers last weekend.
We so did.
And we've got a Super Mario Brothers movie review for you. Yes.
I think so. I do like
You never saw
reviews.
the original 1990s one, did you?
No, I did not. And I'm really not a fan of cartoons either. So
really? You don't like cartoons?
No, not usually. Except for like the Shrek kind, the Pixar kind, where the images looked more real. They look more like clay, I guess. More crafted.
Honestly, I didn't know that. And I'm your husband. I'm supposed to know everything. We'll discuss that later in frend of the Ring camera where I will yell at you.
Okay, verbal abuse. Uh-oh, don't be like Crowder. Uh-oh.
Watch it. I will end you. Watch it, Steffi.
We've got you on camera here.
Watch it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Watch the show. We'll be back. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And then at 8:30, finally, I know everybody's really been waiting. Honestly, I had this topic on Monday, and there's been so much breaking news this week. It's been a crazy news week that I haven't been able to talk about it all week. The best top 10 80s movies ranked.
Oh, nice. You've been showing me a lot of 80s movies, so I'm hopeful that I know about
the movies from my childhood, right?
Well, I'm like a later 80s baby. So I was like 1 and 2 years old.
1988.
Yeah,
I get it. I understand, but you're still an 80s baby.
So, yes. 80s baby.
So we are going to talk about the top 10, and they are in order, which means undeniable, indisputable, the top 10 in this order, ranked.
The experts have ranked them.
Yeah, it's like when I have the top 10 hottest libertarian list.
Oh.
And people get upset because it's 1 through 10, but I say specifically that it's not in any particular order.
Not in order.
But they're like, "Oh my God, how could you put this person above that person or whatever?"
I'm upset that you put me lower on the list than like some other girls. They're like, "How could you do that to your wife?"
I know, that's abuse. It's abuse. It's abuse. Abuse.
You know,
everything's abuse.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, Rare Camellia asking the real questions here this morning. I was confused why Crowder couldn't leave the house. I guess it's time for us to play the video, Steffi. So let's play the video from the Ring camera of Steven Crowder and his wife of what is being considered, or at least what his ex-wife is considering to be abuse.
So do we have to give a disclaimer? It could be really disturbing to watch some of this footage.
Is this like a trigger warning, Steffi?
Yes, because Candace Owens gave a disclaimer before she shared.
Oh, she did? Okay,
yes,
well, then I guess we have to do it if Candace Owens did. All right, take a listen.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary in abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There is no groceries. I do have
steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the men?
Hillary, how do you respect the men? Stephanie, how do you respect the men?
I'm not sure I can talk about it on air.
Okay, well, let's talk. Whoa!
It might not be suited for this audience.
Oh, baby.
Maybe only fans.
Okay, hold on. Let's continue.
No, I How did a man make it? No, you're not taking the car.
You're not taking the
You're
car.
not taking the car.
Stephen,
You are not
then
taking
I
the
will
car.
ask someone to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not a threat, Stephen.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Stephen, I can't.
Feeling some.
There she is with her big old belly hanging out, 8 months pregnant, and honestly, yesterday I saw Tim Pool. I was asking the real questions too. He's like, Steven Crowder's a multimillionaire. Why doesn't he have more than one car?
You know, a lot of people during the pandemic, they traded in their cars because a lot of people are like remotely working now. I talked to actually a lot of people who have this situation where they just have one car in their family.
What?
Yeah.
Why? That makes no sense. You get
To save gas, I guess, save the environment.
you're a,
I don't know if
no, we're
he's an
talking about
environmentalist.
No.
Just to
No. All right. Let's continue here. Feeling so. If anything is abuse here at this, and some people are disputing whether it is or not, and I can't wait to hear your opinion about it once the video's over. Not letting her leave the house is sketchy to me. Like, okay, you've only got one car, I get it, but like, oh no, you can't go, you can't leave the house. That's a little sketch. Let's continue.
Stephen.
Like, I can't
Stephen.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No.
Is he on house arrest?
No, he's no.
Does he have a tether?
We can't. If she takes the car to go get groceries, then he can't leave.
I know. It sounds like he's just feeling stir crazy. He's got like cabin fever going on here.
I guess,
He's just got to get out of the house for some reason.
well, but he's sitting there smoking a cigar in his easy chair while he's telling his wife to go pick crap up while
Good
she's
that
pregnant.
you observed that. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be part of our discussion in a little bit.
Yeah. And she's like, he's telling her to go do stuff while she's 8 months pregnant. Go get me wood pellets, but also don't leave. He's like telling her to go to get stuff and then saying that she won't go get stuff while she's trying to go get stuff.
Why
and then
doesn't somebody say Instacart?
Yeah, no
hello,
shit.
DoorDash.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Okay,
Exactly.
we've got these things for a reason.
No kidding. Yeah, even like people like ourselves who are not millionaires can use these services.
People need to be solution focused. Here's the problem. We have one car.
Yeah.
He doesn't want his wife to leave. He wants the car. Okay. Just call Instacart. Okay.
I myself was also confused by this, but I mean, again,
Yeah.
it's,
It's so taken out of context and confusing.
it is. There's not a lot. There's no context here,
Yes.
so let's
Yes.
take things with a grain of salt. But continue.
You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either. Do
I
you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Stephen,
And making it work. Can you do that? The only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of this.
Oh, how does he discipline her?
The only way out of this is discipline and respect. We are an impasse. The only way out of this is discipline and respect. Damn, girl. Well, all right. Let's continue.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect. There you go. You throw your hand. You give up so easily.
I don't give up, Stephen.
Hillary, you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Stephen, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Stephen, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Fucking watch it.
She's using these keywords. Your abuse.
Yes.
And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. Steffi, now we're almost done with the video. We've got about a minute left on this one. We're just going to go ahead and let this play out, and then I would like you to react to the whole thing, okay? All right, we'll be back. Here we go. Let's finish.
I've never received love from you, and the fact is when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage anymore. I'm going to go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
Put on some gloves.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to it. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
Walk the dogs and put on some gloves.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'll explain why in a sec.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take Betty.
As the Crowder's head inside, Stephen gets angry and by his own admission screams, "I will F you up," at his pregnant wife, Hillary, who then flees their home. This is according to a video that was released by Yashar Ali. All right. Well, there's a lot to unpack there. Very briefly, allegedly, the reason why he's telling her to put on some gloves is because like they had to give their dog some medicine, and she didn't want to do it because she was asking him to do it because she's pregnant, and apparently the medicine could potentially be dangerous to pregnant women. So she didn't want to do it, but he's like, "Oh, just do it. Put on some gloves, and then take." He's basically just kind of like ordering her around there, if you will. So, all right. So, Stephanie, as a woman, give us your thoughts.
When I first watched this video with you last night, I watched it in complete silence. I did not say a word because I really wanted to compose my thoughts. I mean, I'm not on anybody's side here. I really don't know what to think. What I do know is that divorces get messy, and people like to find evidence to make their spouse look really bad in court, especially when kids are involved.
Yes.
Because they fight for custody. I do know when we moved into our house, the last owners actually had put up cameras all throughout the house because they were going through a divorce. So I know that cameras can be very strategic when you're going through a divorce, and you purposely record certain episodes without your significant other knowing.
Right. I mean, he should know. I mean, if that's his property, I mean,
he should know he has a camera.
Yeah, he knows that he has a camera. I mean, and he's got to be careful of what he says, obviously. I mean, he should be careful what you say anyway, but, you know that there's Ring cameras on your property, right? Like,
yes. So unless it was a hidden camera, which would be a violation of privacy.
Yeah, the worst you might find on our Ring cameras is my naked butt while I'm peeing in the backyard.
And also, he was smoking a cigar. So I'm wondering if he was intoxicated. I'm wondering if he also maybe had something to drink, if he's on drugs. So she may have caught him when he's not in the best mindset.
Right.
It seemed like he might have some anger management issues, for sure. He angered easily, escalated easily. I do applaud her that she was trying to walk away when he was angry, which I always recommend to my clients. If you're in an anger management situation, walking away is the best. Taking a break, decompressing.
Well, that's what she was trying to do, right?
Right.
So she's trying to leave, but he was controlling her and not allowing her to leave, like telling her that she couldn't leave, that she couldn't take the car because he couldn't go see his parents, or he couldn't go do anything if she goes to take the car. What's it, just go to the grocery store? I mean, and then he said, "I can't call my friends," or something like that. I was like,
or go to his friends' houses or something.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't get it.
Yeah, it clearly seemed like he was very...
This video had been making the news. Candace Owens apparently is accused by Steven Crowder of extortion, allegedly, like that. Apparently, saying that he was worried about the safety of his children, and
because he just came out with a video just recently about the divorce, so he brought it all out there,
right?
And now all this other stuff is following.
Right. And I think he was trying to get ahead of it, essentially, by putting it out there. But I mean, he does seem to be, the acrimony between him and the Daily Wire is, at its peak, right? The Daily Wire has a bone to pick with him because Crowder recorded conversations with the CEO of Daily Wire.
Oh, I remember that. He made them look really bad.
Yeah. So, I mean,
yes.
Obviously, the Daily Wire wants to sink Steven Crowder.
It's dog eat dog.
It is dog eat dog, man. It's
an eye for an eye here, guys.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's kind of scary because I know over on Rumble, Steven Crowder has a huge audience. So you got to be careful what you say over there on Rumble because they will come after you.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not judging either side here. I don't have enough evidence to really make a good conclusion.
I will say personally for myself that I do judge it to be inappropriate to tell your wife that she cannot leave and go somewhere, right? I mean, you and I discussed this last night, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I guess I'll just ask you, and feel free to be completely comfortable. Do I talk to you like that?
No, you do not talk to me like that. But I do know that in a lot of marriages, people do talk like that to each other, and they say even worse things.
Yeah.
I mean, they throw F-bombs, I hate you, like the most hateful things you can imagine. That's how some couples fight, and they like to fight that way.
And this is a discussion that
Yes.
you and I have had. We started having this morning, and I was like, "Please stop. We need to talk about this on air." Is really just because people are accusing him of abuse. We have to ask ourselves, and you as kind of an expert on this, is what really constitutes abuse?
Right. And I actually looked up the definition of verbal abuse because there's all different kinds of abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's physical abuse, which most people know about.
She claims there is no physical abuse, and also that there was no infidelity in their marriage that brought it up. But I mean,
right.
And his ex-wife Hillary certainly seems to have a lot of problems with him, and a lot of his.
So he had another wife before this?
No, she's now his ex-wife.
Oh, gotcha.
And here's the thing: there are other staffers, other employees of his, Stephanie, that have come out. I know you haven't watched like the interview with some of his former employees on Michael Malice's show and things like that.
That's why I really can't make a decision on.
Well, they don't say a lot of nice things about him. I mean, listen, I've had bosses that are tough assholes, and you know, probably people would say that what I have withstood in certain situations was abusive. But again, at the end of the day, you know, if we're talking about verbal abuse versus physical abuse, that really is up to interpretation to an extent, right? What's your definition there?
All right. So verbal abuse, also known as emotional abuse, is a range of words or behaviors used to manipulate, intimidate, and maintain power and control over someone. These include insults, humiliation, and ridicule, the silent treatment, and attempts to scare, isolate, and control. So in terms of the definition, it certainly sounds like Steven Crowder was being verbally or emotionally abusive.
By preventing her from leaving, telling her that she can't leave.
Right, trying to control her. He was ridiculing her. But then it's like, okay, ridicule can mean a lot of things. So it's like if somebody just, you know, says something mean to their significant other, is that verbal abuse? Where do you draw the line? And that's where it's like some of these terms are so much more commonly used, just like gaslighting. We use the term gaslighting for nearly every type of manipulation nowadays.
I know. Or it's like, oh, they're lying to me. Oh, they're gaslighting me. But that's not what gaslighting means.
Right.
Gaslighting is when you're trying to convince someone that they're crazy. So you manipulate them into believing that they're crazy.
When really that person is seeing in reality, but you're purposely basically tricking them to think their mind is going nuts.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, Stephanie, I feel like there isn't a lot more that you and I can add to this conversation without sort of just rehashing everything. At this point in time, we just kind of have to let sleeping dogs lie, as they will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what your viewers think here.
Yeah, I'd be curious too. You can text the show at 573-319-1586.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Steph. Yeah.
So for anybody who may be in a verbally abusive relationship or any type of abusive relationship, my first piece of advice is to seek couples therapy, because I will tell you, I have worked with a lot of couples that have had anger management and communication problems, and I have gotten them to a better place. Because a lot of times it just comes down to people don't have the skills to know how to handle regulating their emotions in the moment and how to communicate their needs and wants effectively. So if you feel like there's a problem, get help for it, because there are skills that you can learn with your partner.
We appreciate that. Let's give Steffi a nice round of applause for that POV. We appreciate you very much. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, good morning. Happy Friday. I'm Austin Peterson. That's what it says on my shirt, at least anyway.
I think that's you.
That is me, yes. You can pick up one of these awesome bowling-style Wake Up America shirts. It's got a giant cock on the back, by the way.
Bowling in it.
Yeah, we should check it out. Hold on one second. Let me turn it around so you guys can see the...
Oh, it's like iridescent.
Yes, it's very cool. Let me turn it to camera 2. Let's see how camera 2.
You need like a back cam.
Right there. There it is. There we go.
I really liked your crotch cam yesterday. I thought that was fun.
Yes, people did like the crotch cam yesterday. I noticed people were tweeting about that. Yes. Rare Camellia says, do you think Crowder would have agreed to counseling? Seems unlikely. I don't know. That's a tough question, right? I don't know.
I mean, he makes us think that he didn't want this divorce and it wasn't his choice. So he makes us think that he'd be willing to try, but
what does the Bible say? Because again, like you know, they keep tossing around the word Christianity and religion, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah, uber Christian, right? So So I guess if you consult the Bible, then in theory, in reality, then his ex-wife, Hillary, she really should have just shut up and done what he said,
Is
because
that what the Bible
you're
says?
damn right.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. The wives should submit to their husbands. Now, the husbands have to be understanding,
Yeah.
right? But the wives must submit. So at the end of the day, you know,
Oh, wow. Even to abuse? Like, is abuse okay in the Bible?
divorce is not allowed in Christianity,
Unless,
right?
is it what? Is it unless they cheat?
No, no,
Isn't
no.
divorce allowed or
Divorce
something
is
in the
not
Bible
allowed.
if you cheat?
No, no,
No?
no. Divorce is
Oh,
not
okay.
allowed. Wives must submit to their husbands. Wives must be silent. And at the end of the day, you know, if you consult the Bible, then there's no way out. Because Crocker even said that. He's like, he didn't want a divorce. And
Right.
she did want a divorce. So I don't think under the Bible that would be allowed. She shouldn't be able to leave. Couples. I
Yeah.
don't know what the Bible says about couples therapy, but I mean, at the end of the day,
Says shall have couples therapy.
First Leviticus, it's right after the part where it says you must stone a rebellious son as well. Yeah. I was saying this earlier in the week, and I know this is going to anger people, but I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, I got to say what I really think. But it's like, I'm so thankful. I think I said this on Monday or Tuesday when Jeremy was here. I'm so thankful to not be a Christian, because like, God, they use that to browbeat each other. It's like they
Right.
always, it's like, well, you're not following the Bible. You're not following the Bible. And it's just kind of like,
if you were really following the Bible, I mean, I don't know if your behaviors would be that great all the time.
if you followed the Bible to a T, you would essentially become a warlord.
You might be stoning people.
You just stone people to death, right? But then it's like, oh, but that's the old law. That's the old law. But then like they only choose to enforce parts of the old law that they agree with. So it's like, yes, the old law says stone the homosexuals. Like, if a man shall lie with a man, he'll be put to death. Well, we believe in that, right? Of course, but not that, like, and then there's like the Jewish tradition of, if your wife's on their period, then you got to like stay clean and you can't touch
My sister told me about the Bible.
Let's hear about
All right,
your
this is
sister
some
had to say the
juicy
Bible.
stuff.
Let's hear it.
She said that the man must please the woman first. That's what the Bible says to her.
It does it really?
Yes.
You know what? You know what? I guess I'm living a very biblical life, aren't I?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that you must make sure your wife is satisfied before, the man can.
Maybe I'm a little bit more biblical than I thought.
Yes.
Can I get an applause?
Amen.
Austin does believe it. Austin does believe apparently in some certain things in the Bible, as Stephanie would attest.
We practice Jewish law in our house.
We do practice. If you're enjoying the show this morning, despite all the blasphemy, make sure you click like on that stream to help us to grow. Blue Trike over on the stream says 22 wives. Submit yourselves to your. Oh, this is part 22 for the Bible. He's copying it. I thought it said have 22 wives.
I mean, I think
Polygamy,
it's biblical to have multiple wives.
Certain traditions, yes. Like Moses and Aaron. A lot of the Old Testament Jews had multiple wives. So polygamy used to be a thing. That's why whenever Christians are like, I practice only traditional form of marriage, I'm like, so how many wives do you have, right?
Right.
Tradition only goes back to the 1950s for some people. Anyways, so Blue Trike says, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife as Christ is the head of the church, his body of which he is the savior. There's a ton that passes about loving your wife. You do have to love your wife, but it doesn't say your wife can divorce you.
He said, I don't love you. So he's not following the Bible. He said, I don't love you.
Yes. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wife must submit only if the husband serves her, said Mr. Embry, right? No one wife is more than enough, says Blue Trike. Yes, exactly.
Yes, biologically speaking.
I never understood that. Right. So anyways.
I mean, the Mormons, don't they? What is it?
The Mormons
Fundamentalist Mormons. There's certain sects where they are polygamy.
Yeah.
Polygamous.
But like every group of Christianity like says that the other like group of Christianity are not real Christians. Right. It's like, it's like Christianity is like being a libertarian. No one's a real libertarian but
You're
me.
Not a real Christian.
You're not a real Christian. Nobody's a real Christian but me. Nobody's a real libertarian than me. It's like, anyways, I've got a really good video coming out later today about Christian nationalism, which I think people are going to enjoy. I think
I don't know anything about this.
Christian nationalism has been trending on Twitter for the last couple of days. So I actually have found an example from history of a time that Christian nationalism has been tried. It was called the Kingdom of Munster in the 1500s.
Munster cheese.
That's right, Munster cheese. Your second favorite cheese after Framunda.
Inside joke.
Inside joke. So look for my video later today on my YouTube channel or Instagram on the Kingdom of Munster and Christian time. People are like, real communism has never been tried. Real Christian nationalism has never been tried. So I found an example of Christian nationalism from history. So
sounds fun.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, I think people will like it. All right. So speaking of fun, let's get away from this topic because it's a minefield of disgustingness into another minefield of disgustingness. Demographics of long-term antidepressants. This is by the New York Times, according to the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. So here's what we're looking at. I'm looking at a study that the New York Times has published on how older white women account for 58% of adults who have used antidepressants for at least 5 years, meaning that they've been on antidepressants for quite some time.
Yeah.
And so here's what this study shows. 8 million adults, white women account for more than 8 million adults who are using it. Now, I'm going to actually pull this.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool statistics.
I'm actually
like with percentages and everything.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pull this tweet up for our viewers to see on the social weirdness, so they can see. You'll have to zoom in if you're watching us on a mobile phone, for example. This is going to be hard for you to see, so kind of useless. But if you're watching us on a big screen TV, you can watch us in HD.
Yeah.
Check this out. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you in just a second, but really briefly, because somebody texted us over to the text line, Stephanie, and it's an interesting text. I want to read it real quick, and then we'll move to that topic.
Yeah, we like messages.
Yeah, we got a text.
What's the text line number?
It's 573 319 1586. Yep, there we go.
Okay.
So my wife and I watched the video separately, and we talked about it. Even as a huge Crowder fan, I was struggling to see this argument from his point of view. I had problems with his overall attitude. She was much quicker to defend his immediate words, citing our relationship where I am the calmer, problem solution oriented, whereas my wife, while ranting and a bit hostile, wants to be heard and understood. So this person says that they were really struggling to look at it from Crowder's point of view. He definitely does not come off good in that video.
No, and I'm sure that was probably, worst case scenario that we just saw there. I mean, I don't know what his good days look like. Are those his good days or are those his bad days that we just saw on camera?
Yeah, no, I know. It's tough. It's tough to say. But we'll continue this. Maybe we can revisit this topic a little bit later in the show. But for now, I want to talk about this study from the New York Times that we're looking up right now. I mean, the thing that's stark about this is that if you can see it, even if you're watching on a mobile phone, look at white women 45 and up who have been on is this SSRIs? Is that
they said antidepressants? So not all antidepressants are SSRIs. There's all different kinds. I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't really know all about the drugs. Psychiatrists and primary care doctors are who typically prescribe antidepressants. You can just go to your normal family doctor and they'll just give it out to you.
Mm-hmm. So here's what we're looking at, though. White women, 45 and older, on antidepressants for 5 or more years. Hockey stick. If this is from the year 2000 to just past 2010. That ain't looking good for the white women out there. So you had a lot of reasoning and explanations as somebody who does social work and therapy, probably with people who are on antidepressants, most of them are, right, to a certain extent.
People that I know are on antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications.
So, I got a lot of beef with white women these days.
I know you do.
Especially 45 and up.
So it just furthers your ideas about them.
Yes, it does. It confirms my biases that they are the destroyers of Western civilization, that in their pampering, preening nests, where they are the most protected class of human beings that have ever existed, that they go to the ballot box and they vote to destroy the underpinnings and the foundations of everything that has been built and created for them. Everything that exists in this world, every building you have ever walked into has been built by a man in order to impress a woman. Every art sculpture thing, if it wasn't created by a gay man, was created by a man who wanted to impress a female, right?
Yeah. So the fact that you say they're a protected class, that's one reason why they get more antidepressants. Yeah. They have more financial means to do so.
They have the access to it because
doctors are more likely to prescribe medications to people who can afford them. I was reading that they don't tend to prescribe them to lower socioeconomic classes or people who are minorities because they won't be able to afford the medications anyway. So why prescribe them? Another reason around that 40-something, 50-something age range there, women are going through menopause. They're starting to. During menopause, women tend to become more depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And women in general suffer from depression more than men do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading that doctors, they're skeptical about hormonal replacement therapy for women during menopausal years.
Mm-hmm.
And so they tend to prescribe antidepressants instead.
Right.
So that might be why we see such an increase in these middle-aged white women getting these medications, is to deal with their hormonal issues.
Mm. Well, that does make sense. So easier access to the drugs by being able
Right.
to afford it.
So socially, women share their emotions more. They tend to go to therapy more than men.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense why they would be prescribed these things more, because they're more open-minded to it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, culturally, white people versus minorities, Hispanics, African Americans, there's a stigma about mental health
Mm-hmm.
in the African American, Hispanic communities. You know, it's seen as weakness if you say that you have mental health problems.
Right.
Whereas in the white communities, it's more common, it's more accepted to share your emotions and your thoughts and to seek help.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's why it makes sense to me that women are being prescribed these. Also, here's the thing. Okay, sure, they're on antidepressants, but do you know who is doing more marijuana?
Who?
African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who is drinking more?
Who?
Native Americans, Hispanics,
Mm-hmm.
more than whites.
Mm-hmm.
So people are medicating in so many different ways outside of antidepressants right now.
It's tough because adversity, you would think, would lead to depression.
Right.
But I think the reality is the opposite. If white women aged 45 and older had to face a level of adversity, challenges that they had to overcome, rather
Right.
than being pampered, spoiled, and preened, then perhaps they would be able to define themselves and to not be, not have to suffer with depression, right? Because they would have meaning for their life. I think if you don't have meaning in your life, you're probably going to struggle with depression. What some people have suggested as to the reason why women age 45 and older are largely on antidepressants for 5 years or longer is because they are childless and they don't have families. Like, some of them might have families, some of them might have children, right? Might not be the case, but more and more women are getting, married later, if getting married at all.
Like Chelsea Handler.
Up the first thing that she does and take a big fat rip off her bong, then go back to sleep for a few hours, and she's free to do all this kind of stuff. But I mean, the problem with that is that, like, it feels like a cope, like as if what she's really just trying to do is to convince all of us, like, see how happy I am, I love my life, I really love being childless. So it's like, listen, it's,
Right.
I understand, like, I'm a libertarian, like, you want to live a life
Some
as you want to
people
live.
they don't want kids.
That's
I mean,
fine.
a lot of women are getting hysterectomies nowadays because they're like, I just don't want kids.
Yeah, which is fine. It's your right to do so. But at the end of the day, I think probably more people want to fulfill the biological imperative than do not want to fulfill the biological imperative.
It's a cultural thing too, right? More so in like the African American and Hispanic communities, they more so believe in having children and larger families.
Mhm.
Whereas in the white communities, it seems like smaller families are more the norm, and being, single and childless is more acceptable.
Right, right. Well, yeah, it is seen as more acceptable in our community, but not everybody in our community feels that way. I
Right.
mean, I do think that, in order for us to build up a civilization, we've got to have strong families and we've got to have children, right? So that I do think that that's something that should be encouraged, not through the government, but through not through coercion, but through the sort of acknowledgement of and the spreading of values that are pro life, what I would call pro life values, if you will, right? I think pro life values apply to more than just the protection of the lives of the unborn, although I believe it applies to that as well. But pro-life values are ones that value life after conception as well, right? And ones that build, how do we build healthy communities? Well, in order to have healthy communities, you have to have healthy babies. In order to have healthy babies, you have to have healthy parents. In order to have healthy parents, you can't have parents who the first thing that they do every morning is get loaded and go on, binges and or hanging out at the clubs every single night, right? It's not to say that, in society you don't have party rock and hard people. Like those people exist and stuff. But I would think that that would more be on the margins of society rather than mainstream society, if you will. And it's what I think the problem is with people like Chelsea Handler is that she probably has regrets about it because of the way that she's sort of trying to act like it's no big deal and all that kind of stuff.
She's convincing others and herself.
And there's probably a larger amount of people than would admit that they wish that they had had a family. I mean, who wants to get to the end of their life and be in a senior citizen's home alone and nobody comes to visit you?
Yeah,
nobody loves you, nobody to care about you.
That is a realistic issue. I know people who haven't had kids, they depend on their nieces and nephews, but it's like if you don't have them, who do you have? I mean, do you hire a surrogate family member to
and here's the thing.
help you?
And and I'm really excited for us to have kids. And one of the reasons I'm so excited to have children is because like I feel a pride in the accomplishments of my life to this point that I wish to impart my knowledge, my experience, my emotions and my joy to my children, so that not only that selfishly that a part of me can live on and live forever to an extent, because you live, we all sort of, humans can live forever as long as there are always humans breeding and continuing on, right?
Unless a meteor hits us and we all die.
Okay, Stephanie, thanks for bringing us down. Right. Unless that happens, but also because, I mean, having children is a sense of like taking a sense of pride in yourself and your own life, right? That you bring children into this world. I know most people don't look at it that way because most people are just like having sex and then they have a kid and it's like, an accident. The oopsies. Yeah. Most people are just kind of like, I'm 19 years old. Let's have sex. And then there's a kid. Right.
Right.
But, for me, everything's a philosophical quest, right? For me, everything's an adventure.
I mean, for us, we're so lucky in that we can actually plan these things out so well.
Yeah. But like, that's kind of how I look at family planning and having children. It's another part of life's grand adventure. Right? I look at it as the next great adventure of our lives.
But I mean, we're healthy-minded individuals, and so we're going to raise kids that are confident and happy and who feel loved.
Yeah, that's true. And not everybody goes into it with that mindset. So
that's right.
Yeah.
But just in terms of the medication, I think in general, I mean, I don't know about you, but whenever I go to my primary doctor, they are ready to write prescriptions up the wazoo. Any ache, pain, cough, anything, they throw a prescription at me. I actually was prescribed an antidepressant. You want to know why?
Oh, yeah. Let's hear this.
Because I have migraine headaches and nothing helps. I try Tylenol. I try ibuprofen. I try, all of the different pain reliever medications, Excedrin. Nothing helps. So my doctor prescribed me hydroxyzine, which actually doubles as an antidepressant. So I wonder if part of these statistics actually refer to the amount of people who are getting prescriptions for other things that are not necessarily for depression. I don't have depression. I'm not diagnosed with that.
Yeah, I'd like to move on to the next topic, if you don't mind. Let me just reset this really briefly. I know you're hearing that in your headset, Stephanie, but the audience isn't.
Voices.
Yeah, that's our next topic. After this second to next topic, we'll get that in just a second. But I wanted to reset for people who are just tuning in to the Wake Up America show. Good morning. I'm Austin Peterson. I'm the host of this show. If you're enjoying the content that you're watching so far, click that like button and subscribe to us, especially over on Rumble. The Rumble views have been getting, wild. We've got a massive amount of views over on Rumble. So if you're enjoying the content on Rumble, make sure that you subscribe to my AP for Liberty Rumble channel and vice versa. Same thing over on YouTube. If you're watching us this morning and you're saying to yourself, hey, this is good commentary, I really enjoy the show, I might want to watch it again sometime, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and click that like. We appreciate that very much. Quest Fanning over in the live stream says, cheerful Steph needing antidepressants. That's nuts. Horse Mumbler.
This scene did not make me feel any happier. I don't even take it anymore.
Yeah.
It didn't help me.
Yeah. Horse Mumbler 1 had a comment over on YouTube that I liked so much that I pinned it when he was talking about the Steven Crowder topic. He says, honestly, Crowder seemed a bit of a bitch in that video. He says, if your wife is pregnant with your child and a particular activity involves any notable danger to either, you be a man and take care of it. That's Nathan over there in the behind the scenes is also nodding his head on that one. Yeah, I would think that if your 8-month pregnant wife with her gigantic belly carrying your child is in front of you, like in tears, and you're sitting there smoking a cigar and you need to give your dogs medicine that might be toxic to a pregnant wife, that you might get off your ass and get over there and do the medicine for yourselves, right? They're just
Again, it's like, this is so out of context. We don't know what she said before the camera came on.
Yeah, no, it's true. I know. For all we know, that like before this, she only released the video that showed them like.
Oh, I'm sure people will only release videos that paint them in a good light.
Yeah, for sure. You can text the show today at 573-319-1586. Camellia says that Steffi probably doesn't need antidepressants, but it can be very true that the most cheerful people can also suffer from serious depression. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He was such a comedian, such a fun guy, but he suffered from depression and he ended his life.
Yeah, that's true.
So people actually use humor to deal with depression.
Yeah. Mr. Embry over on Rumble says that, lol, Austin, you have a smidge of brown on your nose.
What?
Is it because...
Oh, I thought you had brown on your nose.
No, not brown on my nose. It's no, I think it's because maybe I'm kissing your ass a little bit or something. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I'm kissing somebody else's ass. I don't know. I don't know. Mr. Embry, what do you mean, brother? What do you mean? My poor sweet wife. She thought...
You would see on your nose.
That does happen sometimes. Not gonna lie. Sometimes actually when I take a sip of my coffee like this, it's got like this little part where like the nub goes into the thing. Let's see if I can get it to do it. Hold on. I can shake it up a little bit. Let's see if I can get it.
Yeah, it goes on your forehead.
Yeah, it goes on my forehead. Hold on. Let's see if I can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Does it have it? Is there a little smidge to him from walking his massive dogs?
Oh,
we didn't discuss.
Is he recovering? No, he had a surgery back in 2021.
Which is possibly when this video came from.
Oh my gosh!
Entirely sure.
Maybe he was recovering from surgery.
Well, but no, I don't think so. And the reason why is because allegedly he had that surgery while his wife was going into labor with their children.
Right.
And so the problem with that is
he had to go away for a while.
Yeah, so he wasn't able to see the birth of his children because he was recovering from what Candace Owens is accusing. We haven't even discussed this part. I guess we'll have to right now. Candace Owens is accusing Steven Crowder of having elective surgery on his breasts, on his chest, because he wanted his pecs to look more manly. However, Steven Crowder claims that the reason why he had this surgery was that he had sunken chest syndrome, which was weighing on his heart.
He had a genetic problem. Mm-hmm. That's what he said, where, his chest was caving in on his heart. And so he got metal bars in his chest.
Right. And I'm willing to give Crowder the benefit of the doubt on this one, that it was not elective surgery and that the accusations that are being made against him are obviously vindictive because he's got beef with Daily Wire now and they're accusing him. They're going to do everything they can to pile onto him. Right. So I'll give him that because, I mean, cosmetic
surgery is elective now.
No, not most. I doubt most. Well, maybe they probably are. Yeah,
surgeries are elective, right?
No.
People can live with knee injuries, but they're like, okay, I'm ready to have my double knee replacement now. Yeah. You decide when you're ready to have it, so that's technically elective. It's not emergent most of the time.
Yeah. Real quick before we go, and this is a little technical stuff. Hey, Nate. Battery died for the camera too. Would you mind just grabbing the second battery and hooking it up for us?
Is that my
appreciate
camera?
That. No, it's me. It's my camera too. So it goes to black whenever I'm trying to do that. Right. I got to give a big shout out to Studio 314. He just dropped a couple bucks in the tip jar.
Oh my gosh, the man of the hour. Are you even a man? I mean, we don't really know.
He is a man. Yes,
okay.
I think so. I've seen him over as his blurry profile pic on Twitter. I'm pretty sure it's a dude.
You have a face.
Yeah, and I would like to say, like, if you don't ask, you don't get. If you are enjoying enjoying the show this morning, please do give super chats. We would be very grateful. Donations to help the show grow. I had to spend a lot of money this month on a bunch of technical work, and we have a technician actually coming in today.
Internet problems.
So I have a technician actually coming in today after the show to work on the internet to hopefully get it, because we're supposed to have blazing fast internet, but we just don't. So I actually have a fairly expensive tech coming in today to fix it. So if you wouldn't mind tossing into the tip jar today to help us to pay for the technician, I would be super grateful and give you all a big shout out.
Super grateful for super chats.
Super grateful for super chats. Or if you are saying to yourself, wow, I'd really like to be an ongoing supporter of the show. The big question that I would really like to ask for you right now is if you would become a monthly sustaining member. And here's the thing. You don't just drop cash in our jar on a monthly basis and then you don't get anything for it. You get monthly prize drawings, which this month we're giving away a AK-47 rifle.
Oh, okay, that'll be our drawing. Okay, so we're not giving away an item in the shop. We're going to give away the AK-47.
We're going to give away both because we are generous.
Oh my gosh.
So on Monday, we're going to give away an AK-47 rifle and a gift from the AP for Liberty shop, right? So if you are a monthly subscribing member, either here on YouTube or on the Wake Up America show website, then you are entered to win the gun, and you're entered to win the monthly prize drawings.
Some good stuff.
And you get 20% off the shop while you're a monthly subscribing member.
Yeah, you get a super secret code.
You get a code to use. So there's benefits. And if you sign up to be a monthly sustaining member at $20 a month, then we're going to send you a free keychain. But what I would like to ask for you right now is, if you really enjoy the show, and I know that people who are watching us for the first time now, you're probably not ready to make that kind of a financial commitment. Just know that in the medium and long-term plans for the Wake Up America show, I want to build out a network. I want to have more shows like this. I've been doing 1-minute documentaries that have been doing very well. I want to do longer form documentaries about the history of liberty. I would like to do films about libertarian characters from history.
Oh, more books.
And more books. Doesn't look like it's not working. Batteries. That battery just doesn't work. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just use the other 2 cameras. Yeah, it's just that battery's no good. It's okay.
That's something else we spend money on. Is our camera got messed up from that flood that was in here.
Exactly. So what I would really like to ask for you right now today is, if you're a friend of the show and you really enjoy it, is if you wouldn't mind becoming a monthly sustaining member. I would recommend that you go to the website right now, wakeupamericashow.com, and become a monthly sustaining member. John Turner just dropped $10 in the tip jar. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
John's always been a big supporter, and I think he is a monthly subscriber.
Can the people on Rumble put in?
They can.
Or something?
No, well, I think they can, but I don't know that our Rumble people are know us or like us enough just yet to be able to do something like that. But if they do, then here's the thing. I'm going to drop the website, wakeupamericashow.com/support. And so I dropped that right now over on Rumble. So you can do it for $5 a month, and you still get entered into the drawings to win prizes from AP for Liberty Shop. You still get the 20% discount, right? So, but what I would really like to ask is for $17.76 a month as a monthly pledge. So if you go to wakeupamericashow.com/support, then you can sign up to become a member of Peterson's Patriots.
Right.
And that will help us to grow the business, to create a stable income flow, to continue to expand our employee base, to, solve technical issues and problems and things like that. Because, at the moment right now, we're not big like Steven Crowder or things like that. We're not millionaires, right? I don't get to say.
I want you to get big like Steven. I don't want you to end up like him. I think he's got some narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah, well, Stephanie, here's the thing. Like, you probably hitched your star to me in the hopes that I would be more successful, right?
You did. I'm just joking.
Of course. The hope is that one day that I can yell at you on my back porch with a cigar in my hand too. You're 8 months pregnant. Just kidding. All right. I would never do that.
We've always talked about, though, power can really corrupt people.
For sure. So if you're not a monthly subscriber to the Wake Up America show, please go to wakeupamericashow.com/support. Become a monthly sustaining member at $17.76 a month, a member of Peterson's Patriots. All kinds of prizes and entries that you get winning free guns, real guns, as well as prizes from the store, as well as discounts on the store. And you get to help spread the message of economic freedom and personal liberty, which was what we're all about. I would love it if we could get at least one person today to become a monthly sustaining subscriber. And to help us to build our vision, because Stephanie and I really want to help. We really want to spend our lives spreading liberty. That's what we care about and we love, and you can help us to do that. So thank you very much. All right, let's continue on with the next topic. You know what? It's time for us to get away from the mental health stuff. I'm going to just skip that story. The sad
Gender dysphoria.
about the kids who have gender dysphoria and their mothers have problems and things like that. It is a good topic for you.
Should we summarize it, or are we going to it later?
Let's just skip it for now. You know what I mean? Let's get on to some, like, I know that this is not a happy topic, but it's still like more fun. Jerry Springer died.
Yeah.
Jerry Springer died. Jerry. He was kind of the talk show populist, if you will. He was 79 years old. And I love the way the New York Times describes this. It says Springer, who died on Thursday, rolled out his talk show like a bountiful and pungent wheel of cheese and threw the studio's doors open for the messy feast. The people, or his selected outlandish version of them, rolled in. Mother-daughter dominatrixes, people who had self-amputated various body parts, a man who married a horse. Accolade in its introduction, which also
a genius show. I think it was the first of its kind. I mean, it's truly like a trash talk show. Because I used to watch
trash TV.
Yeah, like these are the shows I would watch when I was sick from school. Yes, I was allowed to watch Jerry Springer.
I know, me too, for some reason, right? I wasn't allowed to watch rated R movies.
Vision. It's not like it was bad, right?
Well, exactly. Daytime TV, so it must have been okay, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Maury was more of the, polished talk show person, but now Maury does like all the DNA testing.
Yeah. You are
who's
not
your
the
daddy
father,
and stuff.
you know.
So, but Jerry Springer is the one who kind of started that.
Yeah.
And then after that, the Steve Wilkos show came because Steve Wilkos used to work for Jerry Springer as security.
Oh, Steve.
So he kind of branched off of Jerry.
I know, but he was nobody was ever as good as the original.
No.
We got to give a shout out to our buddy Studio 314. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Studio. He dropped $8 in the tip jar. Thank you, Studio.
He just gave other money too.
Yes, he's been a huge supporter lately, and we're super grateful for him.
Superstar.
Thank you very much. Be like Studio. I keep hitting the number 2 camera button on this one.
Oh my gosh.
It's only going black because I'm an idiot and I keep pressing camera 2. Sorry, my bad. Studio 314. They see this black screen. They can hear us talking, but they can't see us. My bad. Sorry. Studio 314. Thank you. He's been a big supporter lately. Make sure you guys match. If you can match Studio 314, we'd be super grateful.
That's so cool.
Jerry Springer. I like the way that the New York Times article rolls out because he's. This is what they say. TV. They voted for it as the worst show on TV history, but he actually made fun of his critics, arguing that he was just presenting reality, warts and all, and his name became a verb, a shorthand for a shameless sensibility that would continue through the O.J. Simpson trial, the reality TV era, and eventually certain presidential debates. And of course, you didn't know that Jerry was the mayor of Cincinnati. No, he wasn't mayor. He was a city councilman, and he got you know what? Do you know how he got busted?
With drugs?
No, he got busted paying for prostitutes. But do you know?
Oh, so he had prostitutes himself.
Yes, he got hookers.
Oh.
So do you know? But do you know how they caught him?
No.
He paid for the prostitutes with a check.
Oh my gosh, you gotta pay cash, people. If you're gonna do something bad, you gotta pay cash.
Oh my God.
Even I know that, and I don't do bad things.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Studio 314 said on the stream, he made us look at ourselves as a society. That's why some people didn't like him. Yeah.
The thing about him, though, you never know if they're actors on the stage or if they're real. Because every time we're watching those clips now on YouTube of Jerry Springer shows, I'm like, are those people acting? Are they real? And then you're always like, no, I think that person's real.
You can kind of tell. You can kind of tell the ones. There's some that there's no way that they could fake certain things, right?
Yeah.
But on other ones, I do think that, if you were doing 5 days a week, you've got to like, it's showbiz. You've got to make a show.
I see it the same as like the Judge Judy show or like all those court shows where the people have all this drama going on. Those are paid actors, a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they absolutely are. So you do get paid to go on those court shows and stuff like that. You know who I absolutely despise and I love to take every opportunity I can to talk shit on him is Montel Williams. Don't you remember the Montel Williams deal when I was running for Senate and he was like talking shit to me on Twitter and stuff?
I don't know much about that. I just know he was like a marijuana advocate because of his disease that he has.
Yeah, Montel Williams is the biggest piece of shit in television history. And I'll say this as someone who met him and has interacted with him more than just on Twitter.
Which I have never interacted with the guy. I just watched his show as a kid. Long
story short, and I've told this story before to people who have heard me. and followed me for years, is that Montel Williams was a medical marijuana activist, right?
Mhm.
And he had this before it was legal around the country, back in like 2010 to 12 when I was working at Fox News. Montel Williams was part of a federal government program where the federal government actually grew marijuana and distributed it to certain cancer patients around the country.
Oh,
People didn't
okay.
even know that program existed, but it did, right? Like
So they gave marijuana to people.
they did, and
Okay.
it would come in a special tin can that the government distributed it in a form of joints to certain patients who had like life-threatening diseases. Montel Williams was one of the people who got it, who got that and used that program because he has this rare bone disease.
All right.
So
Sounds libertarian.
Montel Williams is not a libertarian.
Okay.
Montel Williams is a socialist piece of shit.
Okay.
And here's why I hate him so much. So the day that he was supposed to come on Freedom Watch with the judge, right? And his office was at 30 Rock,
Yeah.
Rockefeller Center across the street, where he did his show. And Fox News is 1211 Avenue of the Americas, right? And I was working there producing the judge's show.
Okay.
So I was always the producer who dealt with like the big guests, the celebrities. I was what you would call the A1 producer for the show,
Yeah.
which is usually the top guest in the big story. So
Exciting.
yeah, it was super exciting, right? So if it was Montel Williams or if it was Ron Paul or Rand Paul, I would produce their segment. So when you're a producer, you do what's called a pre-interview, and in the pre-interview, you talk to the guest and you get their point of view and you write it down and you share it with your talent of your show so that they know what you guess, because they don't have time to do pre-interviews with their guests,
Right.
So you do it as the producer and then they come out and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So long story short, what happened is that he had that can it was empty, right, because it was still legal at the time in New York, with his prescription for marijuana on it from the federal government, and we were
Okay.
going to talk about it on the show. So the judge and my executive producer say, "Hey, Montel Williams people want you to come over to his studio, go to Rockefeller Center,
Oh.
pick up the can of weed,
Oh.
bring it over to the set." So
It was empty.
it was empty.
Empty.
So
Okay.
and bring it over to Fox News so that we can look at it, and the judge wants to see it before, so he can kind of like write up his point of view on it and kind of like write up his questions and all that stuff for Montel.
Okay.
No problem, right? So I say, okay, I'm going to do what I'm told, right? So I go over to the Rockefeller Center,
Yeah.
and I go up to Montel Williams' office, right? And I go, "Hey, Austin Peterson here to pick up the thing from Montel," and they're like, "Okay, no problem." So they let me in. So they only let you in if they have your name ready to go in, right? So I'm like, okay, this is normal. I walk in, they go, okay, they go, "Mr. Peterson, hey, the item is on Montel's desk. It's right over there. Just go pick it up." And I'm like, okay,
Sounds smooth. Okay.
fine, right? So the day's going on. Every day you're producing a new show. So I have a deadline, right? 5 p.m. I have to be in the studio to produce the judge's show. And so I bring the can over. It's like 2 p.m. or something like that. I bring the can over, bring it to the judge, thinks everything's fine. I get a phone call from a very distressed receptionist over at Rockefeller Center who's like, "Montel is very angry. He wants." So, anyways, so I just said to myself, because Montel was supposed to be showing up in the studio in like 30 minutes. It didn't make any sense because he was going to show the can on the show and talk about it, blah blah blah.
Right.
And so I'm like, "No, I'm not going over there." I just told the receptionist, and I'm like, "I don't have time.
Right.
I produced a show in 30 minutes. I have to be in studio." And so I thought maybe Montel wasn't going to show up. I told the judge what happened, and he's like, Montel shows up into the green room and is huffing and puffing, right? And they have not responded to my request for his point of view, which I have to give the judge, because the judge is like, he will refuse to interview people
Really?
if they do not give their point of view.
So he'd rather have nobody than something
Because
that
he doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to ask them and all this stuff. It makes sense, right?
So down to the wire there.
So I told the, "Oh, dude, I'm sweating." And like Montel Williams comes in and he's having this huffing, puffing, piss. He wants to have a pissing match. And I'm like, I was like, "Sir," I was like, "Do you mind if I just ask you a few questions and stuff like that?" And he's like, and like, mind you, a producer at Fox News is not the highest guy on the totem pole and all that kind of stuff. But a producer at Fox News is also not a cameraman at Fox News. Like, a producer is like someone that you treat with respect, right? Like, not to say that you don't treat everybody with respect, but like, there's a certain deference given to people who are in a hierarchy in a production, right?
Right.
Like, if you're on a movie set and you talk smack to the janitor, maybe the executive producer overhears you and fires you for being a dick, but probably not, right? but you certainly don't talk smack to a producer, right? There's a certain level of respect accorded to someone who's considered a creative professional. Okay. And he refused to talk to me. He's like, I've been in TV for years. I don't need to talk to you. Blah, 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 blah. Treating me like I was like.
So he wants to do improv.
And it's, fine. But I mean, like the biggest asshole I have ever met or worked with in television ever. And then years later, when I'm running for the U.S. Senate as a Republican, because I'm giving away an AR-15 at the time, which I'm not giving an AR-15, by the way, I am giving away an AK-47, which YouTube doesn't want me to say on the stream, but I am giving away one on Monday. How can you win my AK-47 that I'm giving away on Monday? Go to apforlibertyshop.com. There's an email sign-up form at the top. Drop your email. You're entered to win for free. So anyways, Montel Williams, huge asshole, big gun control fanatic.
So he attacked you.
He was attacking me
campaign giveaway
for giving away the AR-15.
Really?
Montel Williams did, yeah. So it was. So I've hated Montel Williams for years
because you took his can. I mean, he's just holding a grudge.
I took his weed can, right?
Yeah,
his empty weed can. Honestly.
So he got it back, right? He got his can back.
Yeah, Montel Williams. Is definitely a little bitch. Can confirm.
Gosh.
Yes,
he sounds like a diva, which a lot of these people are divas, I hear.
Yeah, for sure. Good morning to all of our friends who are watching us over on Rumble today. Give a big shout out to Chad Berger, Mr. Embry, Creative Sam.
Those are some new names.
TFN Network.
Is
all
this
of our
Rumble,
friends.
you say?
Rumble, yeah. Mr. Embry, Blue Trike, Metalhead.
Blue Trike.
Yeah. So actually, Metalhead had a really interesting POV on the Crowder situation.
Yeah.
He says, blowing cigar smoke at a pregnant woman and telling her to do chores. Crowder is a moron. Why do they only have one car? Maybe so she can't go anywhere when he has it.
To hold her under house arrest.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Smoke inhalation. That's not good for baby.
Well, that's why he's sitting outside for sure, right? But
exactly. I mean, a lot of people are in smoking households when they're pregnant, so.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's how we get liberals. Let's see. What's you know what? It's time for us to move on to another topic. We're not going to talk about Jerry Springer anymore.
What time it is?
It's 8:10. We only got 50 more minutes on the show. Hey, by the way, we haven't done any commercials today, but we do have to do one.
Yeah.
And it's to talk about my friends over at Lear Capital, who have got a great opportunity for you to find out more about how to invest in gold and silver. And I want to recommend Lear Capital as your precious metals leader because they've got great prices and great service. And here's what I'd like to ask for you today. Not only am I recommending them for gold and silver coins, but I want to recommend that you put a portion of your retirement into gold and silver. Have you been following the stock market lately? Ups and downs.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you like to? Here's the thing.
I'd freak out so much if my money were in gold and silver.
Do you know why? Because
it's more constant.
Yes, because it's actually constant. Because if you had at least a portion of your retirement in gold and silver, you know that next week it's not going to be $5,000 of loss. Right, $10,000 of loss.
I've experienced thousands of dollars of loss.
We all have. It's unbelievable. And here's the thing: there's no obligation to buy. All you got to do is find out more about how to invest in gold and silver. You can get a free gold and silver information packet by visiting the website learaustin.com. Visit them now, learaustin.com. I highly recommend Lear Capital for your gold and silver investments.
Here, I'm going to actually do it right now because I've been saying for weeks that I need to do this. So what do? You go to learaustin.com?
learaustin.com.
And I just give my email or something?
Yeah, you're going to give your email and then the address. And they're going to send you a packet because you want to invest a portion of your retirement.
Oh, here. So first name, last name.
Yeah, fill it out.
Okay, my email. Yeah, because I need to stop saying I'm going to do it and I need to do it.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'll make it real easy for you.
Here we go.
Yeah. Go to the website here. LEAR.
Okay, I'm clicking on Get My Kit now.
Yeah, learaustin.com.
Ooh. Thank you for your interest in Lear Capital.
Yep, fill it out right now. Head over to learaustin.com. You'll get a precious metals investor kit, and you can get up to $15,000 in bonus coins. Fill out your name, email address, telephone number, and all the goodies there.
Wow. So I guess I'll be hearing from them.
Yeah, they're going to reach out to you. Yeah, because I know you do want to put a portion into.
I do.
Yeah.
Because I have some money saved up that I want to do something
Let's
good
do
with.
it. Let's put a portion of our retirement into gold and silver.
I did it.
Yeah, with Lear Capital today.
If I did it, you can too.
Exactly. If you want to get on the fast track, give them a call at 1-800-885-2175. That's 1-800-885-2175. How does that sound? Seem good?
It's so easy, like multitasking. I just did this during a show.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, what are you doing right now that you can't just type in your first and last name, your email, and your phone?
When we get back, 10 habits each other daily. So if
Wow.
you have a significant other, you might like this story. 10 habits of classy couples who inspire each other daily. We're going to talk about that when we get back.
Cool.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
American conservatism is distinct, like America is distinct from the United Kingdom. American conservatism's roots comes out of the Wild West, out of pioneerism. The difference between American conservatives and European conservatives is that Americans are cowboys. We are that God, guns, gold, and girls. It's wild here, and we should stay that way. We shouldn't allow a European version of conservatism to come and infect us here. We like it wide open spaces here, deep in the heart of Texas and all that.
Hey there, it's your favorite Vice President Joe Biden. I wanted to talk to you today about the Wake Up America show, the best source for all your political news and commentary. But before I get started, let me just make sure I have all my notes in order. Okay, where was I? All right, the Wake Up America show. It's a great way to stay informed and make your voice heard. Boy, what was I saying again? Oh, right. The Wake Up America show. It's important that we all stay engaged and knowledgeable about what's going on in our country and, the thing. But hold on, where was I going with all this? Oh, yeah. The Wake Up America show. It's a fantastic resource. And if you really want to make a difference, man, you can sign up to be a monthly donor at wakeupamericashow.com/support. Now, where was I? Oh, that's right, the Wake Up America show. So if you want to stay woke and support a great cause, head on over to wakeupamericashow.com/support and sign up to be a monthly donor today. And if you're feeling generous, you can even give a donation in my name. Thanks for listening, and keep on keeping on, America. Come on, man.
George. Thank you for watching the Wake Up America show with my dad. Today, I'd like to share with you 3 reasons why you should visit Dad's online store at apforlibertyshop.com. Number 1. You can get exclusive freedom-loving merch designed by AP himself or me mum, Steffi. Liberty Laura has made some designs as well, and blimey, they are great! Number 2. Most of these products are so wicked that they aren't even allowed to be advertised on Facebook or Instagram. Modern machine guns and a proper keychain. line. Plus, our Grover Cleveland t-shirt is so spicy apparently that leftists on Facebook specifically banned it from appearing on the website. Number 3, you're supporting liberty lovers just like you. Spend your money where you earn it, and you help me pups build a community that supports what you believe. Bloody hell, this commercial is running too long. Gotta run. Bye now. Don't forget to visit apforlibertyshop.com. That's apforlibertyshop.com.
Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. How are we feeling today? Good, good. Glad you're all feeling so good. I am happy too. It's Friday, which means that it's family time. Family Friday means the lovely Steffi P is here with us. Good morning, beautiful.
I put my rouge on.
You look lovely today. You don't even need rouge. There's a lot of red going on over there on that side of the studio.
Very true.
Yep. We appreciate you tuning into the show today. Thank you very much for being a supporter. Studio 314 said, I got the Lear email in my inbox. I need to read it. If I get physical gold, that'd be neat, because just like Bitcoin and private keys, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. That's true.
So Studio 314 also signed up.
Yeah, he signed up. So he's gonna get the gold info. So did John Turner, by the way. Thank you, John.
So we had 3 people just today, me included.
Yeah, all signed up for the free gold and silver information packet. Yeah, but
awesome.
Yeah, so you can invest in gold and silver coins directly and have it and own it. But
I like the tangible.
She does like it, but you can also get a tax advantage if you put it in your retirement account.
I do like tax advantages.
Yeah, and then you don't get to hold it, but it is still hard metals that you're invested in. And if you wanted to, just like you could cash out your retirement, you could get your gold coins out of your retirement account at any time. So make sure that you do visit LEARAUSTIN.com. Tolly Owens, you can't leave. No.
Where's she going?
She says, wish I could stay. Have a wonderful weekend all week. You can't leave, Tolly. No, absolutely not. No. No, nobody gets to leave today. Absolutely not. There is no leaving in the Wake Up America show.
Stephen Crowder would tell you not to leave also.
Exactly. You think oh, Steffi.
Sorry.
Burn.
Uh-oh. I took a jab.
That was a good one. How dare you? How dare you? All right, let's continue on. Let's talk about some fun stuff. It's time for us to move on. The 10 habits of classy couples. I really like this one. I like the lists anyway, but the phrase classy couple might bring to mind a couple who lives the high roller life.
Yes.
With plenty of sports cars to spare. But don't be fooled. What makes a couple truly special? Classy couples who inspire each other daily. Are you ready?
Self-diagnosis is classy. Okay.
Here we go. You can't self-diagnose as classy yet. You have to wait until Stephanie, wait until the list is over, then diagnosis is classy.
Okay.
So we can pretend like we're impartial.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, first habit is that they have a morning routine. If one is to make the most of the day, then they ought to start it off right. And I think since it's a wake-up show, we probably got to have one, right? So classy couples are aware of this. They establish a morning routine they live by. It gives them the opportunity to make it more than just a rush to put on clothes and get some food down. They also try to take it slow, and so maybe they wake up an hour or 2 before they head to work. They make sure they enjoy their time together, and rest assured they have done everything they need to do, from writing down their to-do list to having their morning meditation.
Meditation.
Don't know about that, Chief. Yeah. We do have a day. We probably meditate 3 or 4 times a week, maybe but
not in the morning.
Not in the mornings, no.
Yeah.
But we do have a morning routine.
Should I say what we do?
Yes, you can.
Okay. At 4 o'clock, the first alarm goes off. You continue sleeping, but that's
yes.
We're kind of sleeping,
and then we're sleeping. And then I go back to sleep.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
And I'm up, down, and then he officially wakes up around 4:30.
Wake up at 4:30 a.m.
Yep.
But instead of a magic harp sound, it's more like, ugh.
I know. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I wish you could cuddle with me. I'm really empathetic. And stuff.
And like sometimes though, it's so hard for me to get out of bed that I will actually tell Stephanie to push me.
Yes, I do push you.
Yeah, and so she puts her hand on my back and then she pushes me out of bed. And then we start. Go ahead, continue the routine. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you you let George out, and then George does his little morning routine where he runs up on the bed, gets his bone. He starts chewing his rawhide bone immediately. So he's got his own little routine.
Yes.
And then Austin takes a shower. Oh, you get coffee.
I go downstairs. I start the coffee. If I have to fix the 3D printers for whatever reason, I'll do the 3D printer thing in the morning so that we can get out stuff for the day.
Yep. And then you take your shower. Well, I'm laying in bed, mind you, but that's when I start checking my emails, thinking about my clients, because my clients start at 6 usually in the mornings.
And then after the shower, I walk out of the shower naked.
Oh, that is the best part of the routine. That's right. And I look at him up to down. Yep. He turns, does a little turn.
So beautiful.
Yep. And then he starts dressing, and then I compliment his clothes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that shirt. That's so cute.
She always compliments me, tells me I look good, even when I know it's not true.
That's right. And then he gives me a kiss, and he gives the 2 dogs a kiss, and then we say goodbye.
Yep.
And then he goes to work.
Yeah, and then I go to work.
Isn't that cute?
But then on Fridays we do it together. We do.
I'm a little bit slower at things.
Yep. The second habit of classy couples. I've got the top 10 list.
We got number 1 down. We got this.
Number 2, they exercise together.
Whoa. I feel like this list was made for us.
Yes. They might go to the gym together, go for daily walks, or try for a weekly swim. What matters is they get their body together and they do it to push each other to do better. And it's not just about getting fit, it's also a great bonding moment.
No way. So, here's what we do.
Okay, what's there?
When you come home from work, we take a walk with the dogs, usually if we both have time.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and we talk about our day. How are you doing?
We talk about whether it's cold or hot or whatever. And sometimes we get besieged by the flies that are out there everywhere. Last night, our entire field was full of flies. It was wild.
We have these large fly mosquito looking thingies.
Yeah, they're just like everywhere last night. It was like a swarm.
Yeah, and then we do karate a few times a week in the evening.
We meditate.
We meditate. We do our karate. We hug. We embrace during our exercise sessions.
Right before class. We sound like those yuppies that live next door to Clark Griswold. You know that movie Christmas Vacation where like the next door neighbors are like these annoying yuppie couples, and it's just like, why is the carpet wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. And he's like, where are you going to put a tree that big, Griswold? Bend over and I'll show you.
Yeah, we are that couple that's like cuddling on the front porch on our swing.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit sappy and gross over there, but we exercise together. And the thing about the nice thing about karate, and the reason why I like it, and I think you like it very much, is that meditation portion is that there is, rather than just kind of like mindless weightlifting, there's a mental aspect to martial arts, right? In order to, and like you've had to overcome weaknesses.
Very much. Me too. Just letting my thoughts go. Because when I come in, it's right after I finish my sessions with clients. And so I've got all that stuff going on in my head. What do I do about, their treatment plans, all kinds of stuff.
A lot of toxic.
So it all goes out of the brain. It goes out of the room. And we try to just focus.
And we focus on our front kicks, Yeah. And then we have our Dojo Kun, right? Do you know what it is? Can you recite it?
Dojo Kun. Seek perfection of character.
Seek perfection of character.
Be faithful.
Be faithful.
Endeavor. Respect others. Refrain from violent behavior. Shomen ni rei. Say ni rei. And to the dogs. Otagai ni rei.
Arigatou gozaimasu. God, we're such nerds. This show just turns syrupy sweets at Studio 314. Well, what do you expect? What do you want us to fight like Steven Crowder and his wife?
Maybe we should capture this on video and release it to Candace Owens, and then she can talk about us.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, somebody says that it sounds like our sound effects aren't playing, and you know what? You're right, and that's totally my fault. I need to turn on the sound effects because, god damn, Austin, can I get any dumber?
Which voices are working?
Let's see. Hold on.
So they can hear our voices.
There it is.
Yeah.
We could hear it, but thank you, Camellia, by the way, because Camellia always hooks me up by letting me know. Appreciate that. Thank you, Camellia. So embarrassing. All right. Number 3 on the list of habits of classy couples is that, here it is, they infect each other with positivity. Yeah, here it is. Classy people know life is hard enough as it is. So whenever possible, they would rather seek out positivity than drown themselves in negativity, right? So instead of being like, watch it, fucking watch it, like some people do and bring camera videos, they infect each other with positivity. So you'll never catch me blowing cigar smoke in your face while you're pregnant.
Oh, I mean, we tell each other, like, I'm proud of you. Like, just the other night, you were telling the whole world how proud you were of me.
I have
Karate.
I don't think I have ever been as proud of anyone in my entire life as I was proud of you the other night. And there's a selfish aspect to it because I've trained you.
Right. Yes.
But to see you overcome your fears and to take on that dude who's bigger than me.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think he was that scary in my head.
Dude, he's a big guy.
Yeah, he is.
And you were charging him down like a bull and throwing punches in his face and bouncing around and coming in, going for the strikes. And your face was like, I was like, geez, like run and scream and hide from that. Steffi.
Well, you told me to do the key eyes. I was like,
yes.
Then I was like, do another punch on the side.
Yeah, you were kicking ass. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of scared to fight you this weekend when you and I do our kumite. So, but
because in the moment I had no idea that I was being this awesome. I just was like trying to stay in the zone and stay focused.
Yeah.
So I had no idea any of this was happening.
I taught my wife karate. All right. So next item on the list is after they infect each other with positivity is habits of classy. On Rumble right now, click that better, and it really looks good on television sets as well. So subscribe to the channel over on Rumble if you haven't, and of course, do the same over on YouTube. We appreciate you very much. All right. Number 4, they compete with each other, but in a healthy way.
It's supportive of both trying to be our best.
It's still up, but it's a little bit sketchy. If you're watching us right now and you can hear me fine, then thank you very much for sticking around with us through that. We will sometimes experience slowdowns on this show.
Yeah.
However, after the show, who's going to supposedly help us solve these problems? So sorry about that, but thanks for sticking around. All right, next item on the list of habits of classy couples is that they express their love daily.
Oh my gosh, yes, we do.
Do we express our love daily, Stephanie?
We say, I love you lots of times a day in a meaningful way.
We eat lunch together. We eat together. We shoot each other knowing glances, right? We have simple
affection.
Right, a lot of physical touch, right?
Yeah.
You look cute today. We're going to make these people so sick by the end of the show. Sugary sweet, but too bad.
So good. I feel like we should have problems.
Well,
Maybe we need to make problems.
We will. When we have kids, it's inevitable. You have to expect it.
Yes.
Number 6, probably a habit of classic couples, and I don't know if we probably don't.
Oh no.
Meet this one. Number 6, they don't engage in gossip.
Oh, we do engage in gossip. Absolutely.
There are couples whose favorite pastime is trash talking other people. Classy couples are not like this. Yikes.
I think if people say they don't gossip, then they lie. But
I agree. Thank you.
Here's the thing. I only gossip with people that I trust.
Well, but that's the thing is that the reality is that 2 people can keep a secret if one person is dead.
So, do you tell people what I tell you?
Hell no.
And I don't tell people what you tell me?
That's true.
So I think our secrets are safe.
I think that's fine. They don't engage in gossip, but what about each other, right? When one person overhears a rumor related to the partner.
I don't talk about you, but I know that's what every gossiper says. Talk about you.
Yeah, no. We do not tell other people our own secrets.
No, we don't. I think it's because of the line of work that you're in and that we kind of have to have more of a private life. We can't really divulge, deepest, darkest secrets of our families and stuff because then it would get out into the public and, rumors and crap.
Yeah, being a public figure as such as we are, blue check mark and all, not paid for a blue check mark. Even what a douche. We'll see you later, Nate. Have a good weekend. Thanks for all your work this week. Where was I going with that?
Oh, well, we were, oh my gosh, now I'm losing my train of thought. Oh my gosh, gossiping. So anyways.
We can't
gossip about our stuff.
We got to be careful. We do talk about our personal lives and things like that. And on the show, I think people like that we talk about the things we do privately.
Yeah.
But there are some things that we have to keep to ourselves, right? It's just, reality, because you have to have some privacy,
Absolutely. Because we are more so in the public eye than other people. So
for sure,
we have to care about our image a little bit.
Number 7, and I feel like you totally do this, encourage each other to follow their dreams.
Aww.
Classy couples truly believe in one another. They give each other words of encouragement. They ask for updates and give them a thumbs up for a job well done. You encourage me to death, obviously, right? To follow my dreams. And,
You encourage me as well. I mean, I'm so scared to do a lot of things myself, but you encourage me in terms of therapy, bettering myself with my career goals.
Yeah, for sure. And I help you think through things, right? And from different angles, like for example, this thing this morning, weigh pros and cons and benefits. But I mean, you like literally paint and ship my Buddhas that I print, right?
I guess you really can't play a big part in my therapy because that would be a HIPAA violation.
Exactly.
So it's like,
But I mean, like, when I think about like husbands, what to look for in wives.
yeah.
I mean, if you can find a wife who will help support your enterprise, right, to help you to like become like an even greater success, you have got the right woman, right?
Yeah.
Like I think about people that I had dated before you, and I always knew that they were not the right people, but I never really understood why. I don't believe, like, I didn't quite understand it until I had chosen you as my wife, and I realized, have realized after like a year and a half of marriage that in helping me to build up my industry, you really have fulfilled the role of queen in that sense,
Yes,
right?
queen.
Like you do see, like, well, you see people referring to each other as king, like, oh, my king, or oh, my
Right,
queen, and things online. But I mean,
Yeah.
like if we were the king and queen of if we had our own kingdom, you certainly fulfill the role of queen, right? Like you do all of the, like, when we have a party, you get the party tray set,
Yeah.
you
I take initiative
you take
on
initiative
most
on things.
things.
Like, I don't have to ask. Like, when I come home, things are just done. It's like I had to grow. I grew up 38 years old, not having a steady relationship for the most part. Nobody to take care of me or to do any kind of things. I had to learn to do everything on my own, and that's fine. When you're single, you have to learn how to cook, clean, take care of your house and all that kind of stuff. But I never realized how inefficient that lifestyle is, because with help, with another person, not only to help, but to, like, with bills and with cleaning and with cooking and with doing all of these tasks that you used to do. Like, I used to have to do all my work plus all of that work.
Right.
And now to have help with all of that kind of stuff, I'm so much more productive than I ever was. And I can be more successful than I was. And of course, that the bigger success that I am, the bigger the success this show is, the more Buddhas from AP for Liberty shop we sell, the more gold we sell and things like that, then the more it's going to benefit our family, right? And our forthcoming children, right? So,
we are a power couple.
somebody heard me say forthcoming. They're like, is she pregnant? We don't know yet.
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
Anything goes.
Could be, could not be. Number 8, they do things that can enrich them. They're always doing something that can nourish their mind, body, and spirit.
Oh my God, yeah.
Whether it's a spiritual retreat, a concert, or a trip to the museum. Sure, they're fine with just being lazy at home. And when they go out, they always choose to do something new. They explore, try new things instead of staying in the usual place. Stephanie, these are habits of classy couples. Do we fit this bill?
Yeah, we were just in Japan.
Hell yeah.
And I've been wanting to go to the Winston Churchill Museum.
We will go to the Winston Churchill
Like
Museum.
going to shows
in Fulton, Missouri.
Concerts when they come around.
Yes. Number 9, they gently keep each other in check. Being classy doesn't mean being meek and yielding to just be polite. What sets classy couples apart is the way they handle conflicts. If one partner is drinking a bit too much, they would gently and firmly remind them of their health. Or they see their partner become a couch potato, they would tell them that and then ask if there's anything wrong. They aren't afraid to rock the boat a little bit, which means helping their partner remain the best version of who they are. And they know better than to turn to verbal abuse or coercion.
Oh my God, it really says that?
Yes. Yes. They love and respect their partner a bit too much for that. And this goes both ways in the relationship. Stephanie, what do you think?
Wow. Yeah, I think we definitely do that. Because it's like when you think like I'm seeming off, like I'm seeming anxious or something, you'll be like, are you okay? You're acting a little off. And I do that with you too. I'll be like, I really worry about your health a lot, just in general, just as I worry about my own health. So
of course.
I'm always keeping your health in check. I'm like, I made the eye doctor appointment for you. Do you need this appointment? Do you need that appointment?
Yeah,
so
and you always like offer healthy food and things like that, which I appreciate.
What can I get you? Let's go shopping together.
Yeah, for sure. Quest Fanning is leaving. No,
Quest. Quest, I'm gonna send you more of our Japan itinerary. I got your message. So I will. He asked me for more of our Japan stuff.
We appreciate you, Quest. Give him a round of applause. Quest's always been. He's an OG.
He's really cool. I don't know how he has time for everything.
Quest is an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I really can't wait because we got like 64 people watching us over on Rumble.
Really?
Give them a shout out.
Oh my gosh.
KQO American Ladies joining us. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
Well, right now we're talking about 10 habits of classy couples, which I think is actually really good in context of the Steven Crowder stuff with his
I know,
wife.
especially you just said verbal abuse, and I mean that's incredibly relevant.
About how to sort of like, I won't say reprimand each other, but how to keep each other in check in a kindly
He
way,
was
right?
trying to keep his wife in check, but he was being verbally abusive, so that
Yeah.
cancels it out.
We will talk about that a little bit later on in the show. If somebody is, hopefully, if we got time to continue that Crowder discussion. Number 10 on the list of habits of classy couples.
Okay.
Right? They focus on themselves. Unless they can see their partners going down a dark path, classy people avoid getting too fussy about their partner's business.
Yes.
They'll be supportive, but they'll never build their life around them. Instead, they focus on themselves, trying to be the best person they can be. And in being genuinely themselves, they help enrich and inspire their partners' lives. Classy couples remain firmly individual no matter how much time they spend together, how much they bond, or how much they love together. And that's because they do not neglect their own personal growth. That is number 10. I mean, it's tough because I feel like you do sort of build out one unit when you're a family.
Right. It's like I think I'm probably more involved in your stuff than you are with mine.
But I can't be.
But I'm part of like your business.
Right.
And yeah, it's like we work together, but we're also a couple. So it's hard to know where those boundaries are. But yes, I do stay out of your business. It's like I don't pry. I don't ask you too many questions about stuff.
You don't go through my phone, but like,
even though you would let me, I don't.
Of course.
And you keep your computer wide open for me and I don't do anything there.
Exactly.
Other than print off shipping labels for you guys.
The nice thing is too is that like there's a certain, and like maybe I'm revealing a little bit too much personally here, but I'll just say that the nice thing is like having this relationship as it is with total trust and openness and commitment is that like I don't have to worry about you going through my stuff.
No.
But also it wouldn't bother me if you did.
Right.
Whereas before, I mean, like, what can I say? Like at a certain time in my life, I was a bit of a cad, and like I even confessed to you the other time, there was probably a time in my life, maybe once or twice, when I probably had like 12 different girlfriends at once. That's a conservative estimate. And so when you're doing that, you have to worry all the time because they always find out about each other and they're always talking to each other and they're always conspiring to make your life miserable.
Yeah.
Which is one of the benefits of marriage because you have one person to make your life miserable. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yes.
Just kidding.
I mean, my mindset I've just learned over the years, rather than just be anxious all the time and be miserable, I would just say, unless you see a red flag, just keep going on, keep enjoying your time with your significant other. And if they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat.
No, it's true.
Whether or not you check their phone, okay? They know how to clear their inbox. They know how to do that.
No,
so it's
they
like
don't. Honestly,
checking people's phone is really not going to show you exactly what you want.
The thing is, you'll notice their behavior will change, right?
Cheaters?
Yeah, like you'll notice a change.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
if they're working a lot, so like if you have a significant other who's working outside of the home a lot, especially like going on day trips and stuff with their job, you have no idea what they're doing.
Exactly, and that's why you got to have trust. That's why you got to have trust.
Absolutely. I mean, you're basically with me most of the hours of your life. So it's like, I don't know how you could be doing anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So it's time for us to move on, Stephanie.
We're self-diagnosing as classy now.
We self-diagnose as classy. Thank you.
But we gossip. So we're like,
but we gossip with each
classy.
other. I don't really gossip with other people.
No, I do not.
I mean, maybe a little bit with like Joe or something like that. We'll talk about old friends and where they are now and all that kind of stuff. But like, it's different when you're a kid or when you're young, when you're like, sort of forced to be around people and stuff where in like college and things like that versus when you're adults and you don't really have a big like friend group hanging around or anything like that to sort of like have gossip spread in the same way, right? Or
when I used to be in a working environment in an office, that's when gossip was
which a lot of people are. Right? Yep, for sure.
So I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yep. If you're watching us over on Rumble this morning, we've got a nice big crowd there. I definitely want to say thank you to all of our Rumblers today. And remind you, if you're on Rumble, not only hit that like button, but subscribe to the AP for Liberty channel over on Rumble. One of my favorite things to have happen, Stephanie, and it just makes my day. Yeah. I mean, if I could just ask you for a favor, just to like make my Friday awesome. If you subscribe to the channel, what happens is that I get updates throughout the day from Rumble that says, this person subscribed, that person subscribed. And it's just like, it's just like a dopamine hit. You know what I mean?
Hits.
So think about this. If you've enjoyed the content that you've gotten so far on the Wake Up America show, and you're just like, hey, I want to support the show just because it was really fun and it made my morning fun. Like, let's give back a little bit. Just subscribe to the channel because it doesn't cost anything. It's free, and it'll make it just makes our day more fun. Help our Friday be more awesome. We appreciate you very much, especially all the new names and faces, because
I know.
KQO, American Lady.
To know you people.
Yeah, we really do. We can't wait to get to know the Rumble audience, because the Cantina crew over on YouTube are like our tight circle of friends. And we don't know Rumblers very much, but we would like to get to know you guys and like become friends with you guys and know you personally. Because the way that we do the Wake Up America show is that we keep our audience tight. We like to know, we like to be like one-on-one on a friend basis with you guys. So when you hear us say Quest Fanning or Camellia or Chris Morrill or like, these are like our friends, right? That we know, like some of them we know through the show. But like, Camellia, obviously we know in real life, but I mean, we want to get tight with you. So if you want to make friends.
This is our new generation of supporters. I always say, like, I notice every new generation of supporters that you've had during your campaigns, and then, the Ninja Army and Team Liberty and, all this. So it's like, yep, this is the new generation.
For sure. And we'd love to make friends with you and get to know you on a little more personal basis. All right. So it's time for us to have some fun, because it's the end of the show, and I've been saving this story all week. The top 10 best 80s movies of all time ranked. Yeah.
Stretch out. You relaxed. Yep. Oh, nice. That's a special song to me, because that was always on whenever I would join the conference calls for your Senate campaign. And I was always the first one there, so it would always play just for me.
A great 80s song. Yes, it is. We love it very much. All right, so ranking the best 80s movies. This list, I will admit, is not my list. I yoinked it from a website, Mary Sue, so I might not agree with some of the things on this list.
So Mary Sue is the woman who chose this?
It's kind of like so I'm going to admit, it's like a lesbian feminist website, but I know I read everything. I not only do I read like right-wing Breitbart, but I read left-wing lesbian feminist websites as well, just because that way I get a good idea. I'm a libertarian, so sue me. I have an open mind.
The LGBTQ community.
Exactly. Sarah Palacios. Well, we do, as long as they stay away from kids. Sarah Palacios, love my 80s movies. Yes, Sarah.
There you go. So see if yours match up with this list.
For sure.
Yeah.
So the Mary Sue writes this. I like the way that they introduce this. Asking me to rank the best 80s movies of all time is like asking me to rank the best sex positions.
I mean, they're all just good.
Some people like sexy chess. Some people like to watch other people have sex. Who am I to choose? But there's this person is the writer and they are the reader. And if you don't like my list, you can feel free to add your own in the comments. I know you have never seen this movie. I know that Camellia has never seen this movie, but it is a great movie, and it is a classic film of the 1980s. Number 10 on this list is Blade Runner.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so Blade Runner is a science fiction noir thriller. It stars Harrison Ford. He plays a detective who has to stalk through like a cyberpunk jungle for replicants, which are like, bionic, like cybernetic robots, right? But they look exactly like humans, and so you can't tell them apart, right? And there's
something I like.
You would like it. So it's a twist. So we can watch that this weekend if you want. Let's put the Blade Runner movie on the list. You would like it. And there's a lot of sexiness in it too.
Yes, I like robots too.
Yes. What do you think? Was that would you say that's a comfortable number 10, audience? Drop a comment. Let us know. What do you think? Would Blade Runner, you say, be a number 10? It's when we get to the top of the list that things are going to start to get a little hairy.
Oh, boy.
Number 9, I don't know if I agree with this being number 9. I probably would put this up a little higher on my list, but number 9 is Ghostbusters. Oh,
the original?
Yeah, the original. Is there any other movie?
I mean, the newer one,
Well, the newer one was...
Yeah, that was in the 80s. That's right. The newer one was just now. Okay, the original. I did like the original. You showed it to me. It was cute. Yeah. I liked it.
If you didn't see it in the 1980s, it's just not going to have the same impact. Yes, you did like it, and it is funny, but it was like the iconic film of the 1980s.
I liked it.
Plus, the theme song is a bop. I mean, it is an awesome movie.
Who are you gonna call?
Exactly. When there's something strange in the neighborhood.
Why did that become a Halloween song? I feel like everyone
forgot about ghosts because it sounds all creepy. Right. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters.
Yep.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody's like dun 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 dun.
Dance floor at a
That was an
Halloween party.
awesome song. Sarah
Yep.
Palacios is saying, "Y'all make me want a movie night with my husband." Of course.
Classic couple.
That's right. Classic couple time. Number 8, I definitely would put this on the list.
Yeah.
And I know you don't like this movie, but I love it. The Shining.
Why don't I like it?
I thought you said you didn't like it.
Isn't that the one with the twin girls in the hotel?
Yeah.
And he's writing a
Come
book.
play with us, Danny. Forever
Recently.
and ever. Yeah. We watched because we had like a Stanley Kubrick movie thing. We watched that one, and we watched
It's not Stephen King.
Space
That's not
Odyssey.
Stephen King.
Stephen King wrote it. The book.
Okay.
that it was based on.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, I approve of that.
You like that? You liked it? Okay, we'll put it on the top 10 list of
Yeah.
80s movies. Okay. Next one, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes, I mean that's a classic.
And you've seen it?
Yes.
Right. So
That is the one where he wait. Okay, there's a few. There's the one where he goes back to school. There's the one where he's golfing.
They march in a parade, steal a car, they fool around in a pool while trying to avoid their doofus or
maybe
principal.
this isn't what I was thinking about, the one where he goes back to school.
No, he's skipping school. That's the thing. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Is this Sandler?
No.
Never mind. Okay, maybe I have to rewatch. Never mind. I thought it was with Anna.
I guess we know what movies we're watching this weekend. Yes.
Isn't he like Bueller? Anyone?
Yes.
Anyone? Bueller?
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's
Give
the
it to Steffi.
See, I know like the classic quotes and stuff. It's just
Yeah,
I can't make the connection.
We're talking about
All
the
right.
top 10 80s movies ranked. Nelson65 is over there on Rumble, says, I sometimes watch your show twice a day to see what I miss on my commute to work. Nelson, we love you, bro. You rock, dude.
Dedicated.
We appreciate you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you very much. Glad to have you as a friend, Nelson.
We forgot to do our Mario Kart synopsis.
We won't get there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're not going to have enough
Okay,
time. We'll
okay.
try. Number 6 on this list of top 10 80s movies ranked, Die Hard.
Oh, like a Christmas movie. I really don't understand why people love it so much.
Shut up.
It's a bad Christmas movie.
It's ripping my heart out.
No.
No.
No!
All of the buttons.
Please, no!
All of the buttons. Oh,
No.
God. No. I can't take this, guys. I can't take this. Get my wife out of here. Take my wife, please.
We do have 2 cars, so I can leave.
We do have 2 cars. Yes. All right, number 5 on this list, The Breakfast Club. You watched that one recently about the kids in high school. Yes.
Boring at points where they're just like sitting in the room. You know, it's like, okay, guys, it's a little slow. I'm bored during movies, you guys.
Oh my God.
Constant stimulation.
So Die Hard has too much action, but you get bored during movies.
Boring stimulation. It has to be romance.
Oh my God. Kill me now.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to lose that.
And shooting and stuff
I'm
out.
going to pull a Steven Crowder here and say, watch it. Can watch it. I will fucking end you.
Oh.
All right, another one. I'm going to be verbally abusive. Number 4, again. Oh my God, I'm going to be so mad at you because I know you don't like this movie, but it is definitely on the top list, and I think it should be the top 3. Number 4 on this list of top 10 80s movies ranked is Back to the Future.
Oh,
You
God.
don't like Back to the Future,
Okay.
and I have a problem with that.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I was traumatized as a child when I was on the Back to the Future ride at Universal Studios.
Mm-hmm.
I was such a small kid that like the seatbelt didn't fit me in the simulation. And so I literally had bruises all over my body. It was horrible.
Okay, I'm going to say a curse word. So listen, if your kids are in the room right now, I'm going to say a curse word. Turn the volume down, okay, for just the next 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Here we go. What the fuck does that have to do with the fucking movie? Okay.
It's because I was young and that movie was back then, and I just associated the ride with the movie, and it was just all bad.
I do not tolerate that. What? Just put on the gloves and watch the movie.
I want to
okay?
rewatch it.
Put on the fucking gloves and watch the movie.
I think I'm going to have a different mindset now that I've healed from my trauma
We've
from that
got
ride.
3 movies we have to watch this weekend.
Yep.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Blade Runner, and Back to the Future.
There you
We
go.
know what we're watching this weekend, for God's sakes. Okay.
sometimes an adult mind
You do surprise. It's
thinks
true.
differently.
You surprise me too, because one of my favorite movies of all time is Night of the Living Dead, the original black and white version.
Mhm.
And you hate black and white movies.
I loved it.
But you loved it.
Yes.
You loved the original Night of the Living Dead. So that one was to me a good sign, because, like, you know, seriously, then when you first moved in, I showed you the movie Godfather and you fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I thought I would die. Like when you fell asleep
It's
during.
okay. I fell asleep with my high school best friend as well while watching that movie. So it's not just you.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Camellia says, I just showed Felicity Back to the Future a couple weeks ago. She loved it, but she could hardly stand the suspense at the end. She was also really grossed out by the interaction with his younger mom. That's so funny, because you know what? I remember when we watched it in the 1980s, nobody really was grossed out or weirded out by that. Like most people just didn't kind of think of it that way, because
people's minds were not in the gutter.
Well, it's not the same, right? So anyways, we can revisit that in just a minute. They were talking about the top 10 80s movies ranked, and number 3 on the list, and I would say top 3, E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Oh, I don't know
Steven
if I've
Spielberg?
formally watched through all of that. I just know the little dude on the bicycle. E.T., phone home. He kind of looks like the child.
I love my wife. All right. Number 2, definitely in number 2 territory, and possibly could be number 1, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones.
I've probably seen it. I don't know. I don't know. He was probably in some museum finding some sort of gold statue, right? I don't know what it is. We'll have to rewatch that. Maybe you did show it to me. Just too much action. Not enough romance.
There is romance in there. It's just that it's a weird pedophilic romance where he talks about like dating her when she was like 13. I was a child, and he's like a grown man, an adult. There's a weird thing in there. We'll watch Indiana Jones again. All right, we've got 4 movies to watch now.
Boy.
Thank you, Doug H., who dropped $5 in the tip jar. We appreciate that, guys.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you very much.
So sweet.
We could really use your donations today, especially.
It's bad for me that, I just can't stand these movies.
He says, if Howard the Duck and Ishtar aren't number 1 and number 2, I'm out. That's hilarious. I actually liked Howard the Duck. I think I rented it a few times when I was a kid.
I don't know that movie.
Yeah, it was like one of the great flops of the 1980s, but I actually enjoyed it. George Lucas made it.
It's about a duck?
It's about a duck, space duck, who comes to planet Earth and falls in love with
ducks.
Yeah. But hey, by the way, Doug, we appreciate that very much.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, after the show is over, we have a really expensive tech showing up who is going to help solve our internet problems. So hopefully we won't have that anymore. So if anybody else wants to donate in the tip jar, now's a good time. We appreciate that. Especially if you've enjoyed the show this week. The number 1 movie of the 1980s, and I probably cannot disagree with it.
Okay.
And Stephanie can disagree with it.
I can disagree with everything.
Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
I don't know which one that is. We have watched all the Star Wars.
It's the Luke, I am your father one.
I am your father.
Yeah, so no other 1980s film really comes close to the cultural impact of Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. It's probably one of the most influential films ever made. It's a masterpiece on all fronts. It has groundbreaking special effects, an iconic score, unforgettable sound design, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. By the way, just donated $20. Appreciate that.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Was that Andy Opperman?
Andy Opperman. He's like.
It's a statue.
He did. He got him.
Oh, he did?
He did. Yeah. He's got.
Good.
He sent us a picture of him on a shelf. He's got all the Buddhas too at AP for Liberty Shops.
Oh, see that?
Right. And since this is the end of the show, we probably should plug AP for Liberty Shop really briefly.
The end of the show.
As we know it, it's the end of the world. If you're saying to yourself, I would like to donate, but you're like, oh, I like to spend money and get things in return.
That's how I was.
Yeah, I know. APforLibertyShop.com. We've got not only this awesome shirt I'm wearing right now, but you've also got Ooh Government over on the side, and we appreciate that very much. If you enjoyed the Wake Up America show, then subscribe, follow our page. Right? There's more you can do than just give us a little bit of cash in the tip jar, although we do appreciate that as well.
That's right.
The Wake Up America show brought to you by Lear Capital, by AP4LibertyShop.com, and brought to you by...
See what happens now.
Yeah, and brought to you by you. People like Andy Opperman, people like John Turner, people like Edie Vogel and Chris Morrill and Rare Camellia and Sarah Palacios and Jose Palacios and Anthony Nix and all
Studio
of them.
314.
Studio 314 and Quest Fanning and so many other people who have donated and joined us to help us spread the message of economic freedom and personal liberty. It's not all just 80s movies ranked here on the Wake Up America show. We talk about the big topics. We hit the big news stories. I work my ass off to bring you the best guests that we can with cutting edge, breaking news, commentary. A lot of the stuff that you see here, you see it before you see it anywhere else. And a lot of the stuff that you hear here, you're not going to hear anywhere else because there's nobody like us, the Wake Up America show. We are unique. We are different.
We're classy.
We're classy.
Yes. And sophisticated.
And sophisticated.
Self-diagnosed.
Yep. Thank you very much. Drop some money on the tip jar on your way out the door as we head into the weekend. Have a good one. We'll see you on Friday. Say goodbye, Steffi.
Bye. My stomach is saying goodbye too. It's growling.
Yep.
So I'm hungry.
And we'll see you. Yep. And we'll see you Monday on the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. Dance, Steffi.
Skidamarinky-dinky-dink, skidamarinky-doo. I love you. I love you.
I like shooting things, but whenever I can't shoot something, I like to cut things. My life isn't all about shooting and stabbing and cutting, though. Sometimes I have to do actual work, but when I work, I still like to have fun. And there's nothing less fun than trying to cut with a crappy knife. Thankfully, from the ancient sect of Christian knights, who also loved cutting and stabbing, comes a new implement that has received my personal blessing, the Templar knife. Like the ancient sword of Excalibur, you don't choose a Templar knife, it chooses you. You just decide what kind you want on the website first, however, and then order it online, and then it chooses you. The Templar knife comes in a variety of shapes. As a man of culture and taste, I have decided I will never use a terrible knife again. And thanks to the inspiration provided by this excellent product, I have decided to launch a new crusade against anyone using less than superior knives. Join me, brothers and sisters, by visiting uppercuttactical.com/pages/Templar-knives. That's a lot of slashes. For that, you'll need a Templar knife. For 10% off, use code AP for Liberty and join me in a quest for glory, for liberty, for Christendom, for the Templar knife. Get yours today. Fire.
Hello, this is Barack Obama, and let me tell you why Austin Peterson stinks, and you should never pay attention to anything that he has to say. First of all, he's a libertarian, and we all know libertarians are idiots. They don't realize how important government is to everything that we do. I recently became aware that Austin has opened up a libertarian shop at apforlibertyshop.com. Now, I'm asking you as a personal favor to me that you never ever visit apforlibertyshop.com. With all of the great Liberty merchandise there, the last thing that we need to do is to get people spreading this message around the country, because then they might start thinking that they don't need government. And that's the last thing that good Democrats like us want. So if you love democracy, like me, and hate freedom, then don't visit AP for Liberty Shop. Like I said, whatever you do, do not visit apforlibertyshop.com. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.